Hello, my little hypno junkies. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Chaos Head and Noah. I say exciting because this is part 3 of the Kozupii route. It is the finale, the big finale, and the kill streak continues. And this time we may or may not be murdering people with actual sprites. Who will that be? Who is on the docket for dismemberment, for immediate dissections? Well, I guess we'll just roll right into it and find out, shall we? Enjoy. Remy attempted to pull my reluctant self down the stairs, but I planted my feet right before the entrance. What happened in the nurse's office? Taku? She kept on trying to pull me along, pretty forcefully too, but I gently shook her hand off. Turning left in this hallway would bring us to the staff room, and after that, the school nurse's office. From there, if we kept going straight and exited at the end of the hall, we'd end up at the sports courts outside, after which would be the school gate. I didn't want to see anyone today if I could help it. I didn't even want to walk through the school. Yeah, pretty cray. Someone was going to find that slaughter up on the rooftop at any moment, and then when they did, a huge panic would break out. I'd probably end up being the prime suspect since my clothes were caked with blood and all. Exactly. Tell me someone else has seen Kozupii. She is a frickin' ninja to get up and down the stairs from the ground floor to the roof and also from the roof to the ground floor without anybody noticing. That was why I wanted to get away from the school as soon as possible. I should just avoid the nurse's office and go straight to the entrance. I planned to tell Remy about the rooftop and Kozupii, but when I turned around, it's either Kozupii or Mizumi. Whoa! I didn't okay, that was not on the list of expectations. That was sudden. Or is Kozupii here and Remy is like, well, time for business. Huh? Yeah, Remy, why? Why? Why that? Why? Remy was holding something sharp and pointed. No. Was that a D-sword? Remy has a D-sword? It looked like a pair of steel wings. And the tips of the wings were pointed straight at me. Remy was about to stab me in the back any moment now. What? I mean, she does kill us, but this is not the place. Our eyes met. Or is Remy maybe thinking she should kill us, as is per her stated wishes in another route? And Kozupi's going to see this and be like, Batty! Remy's eyes were filled with grief. She was the first to break eye contact. I'm sorry. Softly murmuring those few words, she brandished her sword. This is why Kozupii told us not to trust her. She was about to kill me. Remy was about to kill me. My God, Kozupii is the only one I can count on. I lost control. The second she was about to swing, I gripped her wrist to protect myself. I was a lazy piece of shit and I practically never exercised, yet I still had enough strength to overpower her. Well, what did you expect? Why? Why, goddammit? Kozupii, I need your help. This bitch, in the end, had Remy been just another enemy? Had she been lying to me this whole time? Just like you had back then? Was she just trying to fuck me over too? Was Remy also one of Shogun's underlings? And if she was his underling, did that mean that she had been behind New Gen the entire time and I'd been right from the very start? Why are you doing this? I'm sorry, but you have to disappear, Taku. Yeah, you definitely picked a bad time to do this. Kozupii's gonna come along, isn't she? Kozupii is like every enemy in every horror game, just wandering the halls. Like the face monster from Amnesia. And eventually she's just going to round the corner and aggro. Well, that decided it. There was no misunderstanding here. Remy really was my enemy. This was her true nature. All that shit about protecting me had been nothing but a lie. You're lying. You're nothing but a goddamn liar. I'm sorry for lying to you. But please, Taku, disappear. Cut the shit. Cut the bullshit. Someone's about to get cut. You want me to disappear? All I can think about is how I trusted you more than anything. About how I thought I could depend on you, no matter what. How can you stab people in the back? Like it's nothing. Literally stab me in the back. You fucking demon girl! Back to the original nickname. Taku. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. Who the fuck do you think you are? I realized I was crying. A betrayal like this, I couldn't. The pure rage and frustration I was feeling right now. What I had felt with you, I didn't even come close. Remy had shit all over all the feelings I'd had for her. I'm going to remember this when I do your route. I'll never forgive you. 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 I'll never forgive you times a million. I'm gonna kill you. Please tell me that Kozupii is hearing this from somewhere. Gripping her wrist even tighter, Remy's expression contorted in agony, but the pain I felt was far worse. You tore my heart to fucking shreds. I'll never forgive you. More. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking... Kozupii'll kill her. That didn't sound like Kozupii's inner voice, but I have to assume that it probably was. And one shot. It happened in an instant. Right before my very eyes, Remy's figure vanished. Well, her upper half. Her body was blown to the side toward the shoe lockers and slammed right into them. She had been done for the moment she'd hit the metal lockers, obliterating them in the process. A thick cloud of dust enveloped the room. I mean, surely she was cut, not just hit. At first, I had no idea what the hell had happened. Oh, I think we can take a guess. Takumi-san's heart was crying out, and Kozupii heard it and wasn't done her kill streak. Right before me, brandishing her D-sword, was Kozupii. Her expression was incredibly pained, sweat shone on her forehead. And yet, even despite those things, she still forced herself to smile at me. Stuff like, I'm gonna kill you, and I'll never forgive you, so... Kozupii came and killed her for you! Her inner voice threw all of that at me. You... killed her. You really... killed... Unable to believe what I had just seen, I approached the demolished shoe lockers. The D-sword that had used to be Remy's brushed against the tip of my shoe. Well, finders keepers. It was lying on the floor, deprived of its owner. Liquid slowly pooled beneath the sword. Blood. Whose blood was it? Gee, it's a mystery. I didn't have to think long to know. Eventually, the D-sword by my feet was enveloped by countless black particles and vanished into the air. Never mind. Remy was dead? Just like that. I didn't have the slightest urge to confirm it. I don't think you need to. No, I feel like Kozupii is very thorough. When Kozupii kills. Sadness washed over me, and at the same time I was left with an inescapable sense of regret. I had killed my own emotions deep down. Had my feelings numbed me to everything? Or had I numbed my feelings to everything? It didn't matter anymore. At least the tears had stopped falling.
Kozupii.
Kozupii? Save me. No, she did. She's good. Time to talk about that compensation. Right now, Kozupii was the only one I could depend on. See, Kozupii, you can protect our boy. Even though Remy had betrayed me, I still wanted someone to believe in. Or maybe I just wanted someone I could be with. Someone who would accept me. All that stuff about wanting to be protected, it was all just an excuse. I just didn't want to be alone. Even if she might betray me. Even if I had already been betrayed. I didn't want to be alone. I couldn't bear all of this awful bullshit on my own. If I was on my own, I guarantee I would cease to be me. I would just up and disappear. I approached Kozupii, desperate for someone to cling to. When I looked at her face, what I saw was how terribly sad she looked, the sheer pain on her face. Her smile had long since disappeared. I made up my mind and embraced her tiny shoulders. She didn't fight it. I mean, I was already covered in blood anyway, so whatever. But Takumi-san ran away from Kozupii before. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. What a way for this to end. So it is going to end with a romantic ending. It's just going to end in a romantic bloodshed ending. Just a bloodbath complete. But please, save me. Takumi-san, are you Kozupi's friend? Again, for the love of God, say yes. Who could say how many people Kozupii had already killed? Who could say what would happen if the police caught us? Knowing all that, yeah, Sua's going to come in here and be impressed. He's going to be like, damn. Knowing all that, would it really turn out okay if the two of us stayed together? I asked myself such a question, but it didn't take long for me to find my answer. Right now, I was together with Kozupii, and as long as we stayed together, it would all turn out okay. Because anyone who messed with us would die. We had bigger enemies than the police, enemies that were too dangerous to face alone. I need you, Kozupii. I want to be with you. Takumi-san, you're a really super selfish person. But I forgive your murder, so, you know. Upon saying that, she wrapped her arms around my back. With the little strength she had left, she held me in return. But since Takumi-san said he needed Kozupii, Kozupii will do her bestest and give all the protection Kozupii has. You're part of the Clickety-Clackety clan. That needs to be a guild on Guild Wars, too. Hey, it's like what that really dirty old guy said before. You don't need to hold back. Negative emotions are not something to be repudiated. I think she means repudiated. That's why when anyone's bees a bully to Kozupii, Kozupii'll kill him. And that goes for anyone who bees a bully to Takumi-san too. Feelings, both cold to the touch and warm as the sun, found their way from her to me. Feelings inside her that contradicted. Madness. Kindness. Whether it was the same way her inner voice could reach me, or if it was all in my head, I didn't know. Right as that thought drifted through my mind, a girl's scream echoed through the school grounds. Okay, somebody just got severely traumatized. It had come from the top of the building. Well, had she found the slaughter on the rooftop? We had to run. Yeah, it's go time. We need to beat it. Kozupii, if we stay here, the police will catch us. There's some yandere simulator shit going on here. For some reason, the moment I let go of her body, she immediately sank to the ground. Yeah, she's gonna need a piggyback ride. She's had a rough day. There's been mirrors and everything. What's wrong? Kozupii's so tired. Kozupii's body is super heavy. Hey, Takumi-san. In Kozupii's heart, so many delusions are showing up. Blackiest black delusions. It's like Kozupii's being crushed to bits. Blackiest black delusions? What do you mean? Regardless of what she meant, staying here wasn't an option. With Remy's corpse lying here, anyone who spotted us would find out exactly what we'd done. Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to put two and two together here. So without getting an answer from her, I lent Kozupii my shoulder, and the two of us began to leave the school. Just pick her up by one hand. She can't weigh much more than your Saratan action figure, jeez. We walked through the halls. You really want to leave. As nice as it would have been to just leave, we were both covered in blood, yeah. Kozupii couldn't walk in her current state, and I had a feeling that if we went outside, we'd get hit with the cops all waiting for us out there cliche. Kozupii could take him. It was probably best to just hide out somewhere. Even one of the empty classrooms would probably work. The atmosphere was tense. The scream earlier had kick-started a slowly growing commotion inside the school. Ya think? If the scream didn't, what caused it will? Teachers quickly ran by us in a hurry. If teachers are running by you, they're going to have questions about the blood. Especially on Kozupii, because she's covered. Students left their classrooms, ignoring that homeroom was still in session, and cautiously peered around the school to try to see what had happened. Shit, there was a lot of people. Maybe it would have been better to just leave after all. Yeah, this may end badly. We had to hide somewhere. Somewhere like... Well, never mind. There it was again. That noise again. Stop it. Just stop it. I was going to go insane. If people are taking pictures of you guys covered in blood, you going insane is the least of your problems. A few students spotted me from a distance, and not just students, but a few teachers too. Why did you come back in here? You absolute idiots. Every single one of them had their cell phones out and were aiming them at us. And for some odd reason, they were all holding mirrors in their other hands. Well, you're in hell. You're in hell, and every single one of you is going to die. Yeah, coupled with a black wrath. An infernal bloodlust sprouted inside my mind. Hey, we may get that natural born killer's ending after all. Something within me was about to snap. Fortunately, you don't have a sword. Kozupii's gonna kill you! Perhaps emboldened by my bloodlust, Kozupii's heart reeked of its own hunger for blood. Yeah, she's not satiated yet. Where's the grin? Show it to me. Kozupii's gonna kill you. Kozupii's gonna kill you. Kozupii's gonna kill you. This is the most psychotic character I've ever seen, or at least the most bloodthirsty, murdery character I've ever seen in a visual novel, I think. Kozupii was reacting to the mirrors. Despite the fact that she was having so much trouble walking, she raised her D-sword overhead anyway. Kozupii, don't do it! I've already done it. Fuck it. Clutching her petite frame, I tried to hold her back. Here comes the grin. Kozupii's gonna kill you! But I couldn't do it. Kozupii's body freed itself from me with tremendous force. Pulled along by her sword, Kozupii charged the group holding mirrors. I'm not done playing Dynasty Warrior. Her legs tangled with one another, she nearly slipped and fell. And yet she still managed to move forward, and swung her enormous D-sword. That sounded like 5. Die! 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 Is everyone laughing now? And with a single swing, she claimed about 4 human lives. Man, I will say this, as the endings have gone on, from Nanami to Yua to Ayase to Kazue, as much as I really didn't know what we were in for with this ending, they have certainly gotten more entertaining. I will absolutely give it that. Senna has a lot to live up to after this. It was a staggering storm of destruction and brutality. Yeah, no kidding. Her movements and posture were like a novice's. If she leaned back any further, she'd fall over, and yet her sword's trajectory were both abnormally accurate and fast. Her aim was precise as she claimed each and every one of those lives with a single blow each. Almost like she wasn't the one swinging the sword. The sword was the one swinging her. Yeah, we alluded to that earlier. Her sword, she even said it had a name. Well, everyone's got multiple personalities here. As she bathed in the fountains of blood, Kozupii began to cower. Kozupii hopes everyone just dies. Kozupii doesn't want to kill anyone. Kozupii's sword is acting on its own. Oh, so when you said it wasn't your fault, you meant it, eh? It wasn't me. It was my sword. It wasn't me. But Kozupii should just rely on her sword. Oh, she's arguing with herself. Her conscious and subconscious are arguing with themselves. Is this the real Kozupii? The who am I? I could hear Kozupii's current mental state. Her mind was in total disarray, a total chaotic mess. I lent my shoulder to Kozupii once more and climbed the stairs along with her. There's a new sprite for Mizumi. And you know what? He's earned it. But the very next moment we ran into Mizumi-kun and the other DQN coming down the stairs. Oh, is Mizumi about to get bisected? I mean, Kozupii isn't exactly his friend as much as we are. Shit, these guys again. I bit my lip. Wait, am I seeing shit? What's with all the blood? Yeah, there's quite a bit more than last time. For a split second, the DQN who spoke was taken aback. But the very next one, Mizumi-kun grabbed me by my chest. Yeah, we have bad news about Remy. His face was teeming with fury. Did it. Oh, did you find your girlfriend? Yeah, sorry about that. You did it! You fucking killed Minako! Seriously, who the hell was Minako? Noticing my confusion, the DQNs held Mizumi-kun back. Wasn't me! No, literally wasn't me. I'm not shaggying this time. It actually wasn't me. Just hold it, Mizumi. We can't say for sure if they did it or not. I mean, first off, how the hell could 2 people do all that shit alone? All that, and they were definitely talking about the slaughter on the roof. Bad news, it was only 1. Half of one if you want to make a height joke. Listen close, Esper. Isn't Kozupii with us? Pick on her. I'm not an Esper. Fucking can it, shit for brains. I tried to tell him I wasn't an Esper, but he wasn't having any of it. His threat caused me to shrink back. Feeling unbelievably pathetic, I began to wonder if Kozupii would murder everyone here if I wanted her to. You know what? She'd murder everyone here if you just didn't hold her back, frankly. Yeah, she's ready. Kozupii can kill them. All I know right now is murder. No! Kozupii doesn't want to kill them! Kozupii's mind was a chaotic mess of conflicting, contradictory emotions. Kozupii can't kill them! Kozupii should just give in and kill them. It's funny that I kind of gave Kozupii two voices as a joke, because now she actually has them. She should just give in. That was one thing I could never do. Get a load of this. Takumi, if you just look the other way, the situation's going to resolve itself. You know your sister? Man, with how cute she is, you'd never know she was related to your ugly ass. Her name's Nanami, right? What did you just say about my sister? Why the hell did this DQN know about Nanami? So yeah, took it upon myself to show her a little bit of loving, alright. Oh, okay, well. Okay, now we are going to choose violence. What are you saying? Do I really gotta spell it out for you? I don't think you're gonna live to spell it out. The DQN, acting far, far too friendly with me, placed his hand on my shoulder. Even though he was a guy, he was covered with the smell of perfume. The smell was so strong it made me want to vomit. So we always fuck around with like 10 other people, killing time for the sake of it. Comes up that we were in the mood to go out and get some, and we got this offer. And you know who was on the menu? Your sister. So you were the guys that kidnapped her? Are we getting some details on that? Offer? Nanami wasn't some fucking object to be offered. What the hell have they done to her? Wait, no, more importantly, who the hell had offered them Nanami? Guy's name was Darth Spider, of course it was. All words left me. Nanami, you can kill them. Or, Nanami. Kozupii, you can kill them now. Guy goes out of his way to approach us, hands over your sister, and goes, do what you want with her. Like, damn, ain't that crazy? What a fucking deal. My vision turned bright red. Within my mind, it felt as if my blood was boiling. It billowed and bubbled, rising up to my head like magma. You know, if you guys honestly believe that I was involved with what happened on the roof, you really shouldn't be provoking like this. What did you do to Nanami? Huh? I already told you. Showed her a good bit of loving. Oh, yeah. She was also missing a hand? Shit must have really hurt. Yep. I mean, we confirmed that anyway. That had all been real when I... Oh, yeah, well, we checked our fridge and the hand was missing. We passed that scene, if you'd forgotten about it. When I'd come home afterward to check, I hadn't been able to find that damn hand. So that was why. Yo, Mizumi, don't leave me hanging. Tell them all about it. You were there the whole time after all. Well, friendship canceled. Don't feel bad about your girlfriend anymore. Apparently you think my sister's your girlfriend. Forget that shit. He killed me. Forget that shit? Forget that shit? What the fuck could possibly be more important? My sister was what matters here, you piece of shit. Don't you fucking dare compare that fucking whorish cunt Mitoko, who I don't even know who it is, to my precious little sister. Oh yeah, that reminds me. We took a real nice photo as a souvenir. Yo, Esper, you want to see? Here, let me show you. How has Kozupii not just gone on a tear here? I mean, they're earning it at this point. All fucking... you don't have a sword, buddy. Sorry. Let's see. Photos. Oh, there it is. Here you go, Esper. Take a good look. I better not be getting a CG of this. Let's just leave it to the imagination, shall we? The DQN grabbed me by the jaw and forced me to look at the image. Don't force me to look at the image. The photograph was definitely Nanami, but she was covered in blood. Her eyes were hollow. And she was completely naked. Well, yeah, I'll fucking kill you. I'm so angry I forgot my spaces. Yeah, Kozupii finally stepped in. Kozupii's done arguing with herself. Kozupii is sinking with us and just, that's it. Solution found. The knife I'd been gripping? The knife I'd been gripping dug itself deep into that DQN bastard's chest? I'd brought it with me today just in case I needed it. I don't remember us ever mentioning a knife. Apparently, I myself had stabbed him. We brought a knife? We have a knife to bring? Was it the cross? Did we bring the little crucifixion stabby stake from the third case that we found in the alley? Tell me that's it. I pulled it out, then stabbed him with it again, and then I did it again. Hey, Mizumi, you want a piece of this? Tell me about what you did with my sister again. What the fuck? Taku, stop! No. Your turn in a moment. Shut the fuck up. Man, we picked a dark ending. I pulled it out, then stabbed it back in. Hey, Mizumi. And you all should all die. For what you did to Nanami, you and the whole goddamn world should all die. I'll kill you all myself. Well, I mean, Kozupii, this is the point when she stepped in with Remy. She's going to blow Mizumi out that window over there. I pulled it out and stabbed it back in, then again, and then again. The DQN wasn't moving anymore. With his eyes open wide and his mouth drooling blood, he was very much dead. Well, you kind of walked into that, buddy. Hey, Kozupii. Kill every last one of them. With a sad look on her face, Kozupii nodded. Her D-sword rose in her hand. It reel-booted with a furious, resonant noise, and then Mizumi-kun could only stare in shock at the abrupt embodiment of mayhem. Huh? Nani? Well, I regret my choices today. With a single swipe, Mizumi-kun's head was blown clean off. She had swung her sword so violently she lost her balance and fell right on her ass. That's what happens when you charge too long. Mizumi's collapsing body then fell on the top of her, soaking her clothes with blood. Really, how would you even notice at this point? How much blood do you have on you? Despite looking wholly miserable, she pushed the corpse aside, and then she looked at me and smiled. Takumi-san killed someone too, huh? We could be murder buddies. Was she crying, suffering, or simply smiling? We are the same. Within her pained smile was a mix of so many different emotions. Why are there so many enemies? Make it stop. She was sobbing inside her heart. But it was just as she said. We had enemies everywhere. So we had no choice but to kill them. That was what they all deserved. I wasn't the one in the wrong here. The pieces of shit that I'd attacked were. It was payback for what they'd done to Nanami. Nanami, was she still alive? With all that blood, she was probably long dead. That and her severed hand. There was no way she was still alive. I mean, we've seen her alive and covered in blood. She's bleeding badly. She's weak, but she might still be alive. But we're going to assume she's not and have a little cry. They would never get away with this. I'd make fucking sure of it. I'd been on the run for so long, but that ended here. I would kill every last one of them. Every last one. When I'd seen that horrible, cruel image of Nanami, something inside me snapped. And now, there would be no stopping me. I guess this is how things end. Well, Suwa! You thought you were a creative murderer. Wait till you see the scene you're about to walk into. Suwa Mamoru stood before the gate to Sume Private Academy, gazing intently at the building. This may also be his intention, because he's the one who probably caused the mirrors and all that. The car he had driven there with sat alongside the gate. The car he had driven there with, is it a white car perhaps, sat alongside the gate with his back leaning up against it. Although he wore a suit, a rucksack adorned his back as well, and emanating from within it was a bizarre mechanical sound. The atmosphere within the school was one of an intense, bubbling tumult, one Sua could feel even from where he stood. The pure hilarity of it all left Sua unable to contain his laughter. They really should have made this the 7th incident. That would have been interesting. I know for a fact that today'll be the day I finally nabbed Nishiju Takemi's code sample. His utterance was not directed at anyone in particular, and was heard only by himself. Around him stood several other men. Unlike Sua, their attire was far more uncouth and casual, though they all carried rucksacks just as he did. They were all very evidently suspicious, with their eyes remaining glued to the school, and speaking not a word to each other. All that seeped from their mouths were the same mutterings as Sua, spoken to no one but themselves. This is why the school was made a testing ground. Then again, that's what the big boys up at Nizumi had it built for in the first place. Well, that's a revelation. Is that why the Black Knights ended up gathering here? Is that why, actually, that's true, because Ayase was literally transferred here by her institution. And Kozupii was transferred here. Interesting. Sume Private Academy had been founded by an institution backed by both Nozumi Technology and the Cosmic Church of the Divine Light. For this reason, the number of Gigalomaniacs enrolled was far higher than normal. Their proximity was no mere coincidence. It was simply inevitable that they had all gathered here. And to this, they were all none the wiser. Be that as it may, Sua could not help but let out a faint sigh. Up until this moment, he had employed countless methods of attempting to break Nishiju Takemi. It had all been in an attempt to gather Nishiju's code sample, but the boy was a far weaker, far more pathetic person than he had anticipated, and because of this, the boy would never find the motivation to awaken as a gigalomaniac. Never would he have thought that one single boy would be so much trouble. However, this would end today. There's that face. No more of this cat and mouse shit. I'll show you the awesome party I've kept tucked off my sleeve. The awesome party he's kept tucked up his sleeve. There was no doubt that countless innocent people would die here, but the number of deaths hardly mattered. The Cosmic Church of the Divine Light's founder had said so, and Sua had thus been compelled to believe so. In the end, it really did not matter. The third belt would bring Shibuya to ruin this very day. Are we on the cusp of our ending here? No matter how many high schoolers died, they would be treated as sacrifices lost in the earthquake, and the truth of this day would be buried beneath the rubble. None would ever know of the murders that occurred here. So, let's get that party started. Sua opened the trunk of his car and retrieved his Darth Spider helmet. He put it on slowly and deliberately. Him with his Darth Spider helmet really needs a sprite. When it stood alongside his suit and rucksack, the Darth Spider helmet made Sua appear all the more conspicuous. Yeah, you couldn't possibly stand out more. But this was not something that even remotely bothered him. With an air of utter composure, he advanced into the school. And upon Sua's signal, the men with the rucksacks followed closely behind him, remaining in complete, utter silence. Is that it? I lent my shoulder to Kazuo, and the two of us left for the courtyard. Oh dear! Well, someone's figured out what's going on and is not happy. I was not expecting that, and when we got there, Senna was waiting for us. No, not Sua. I got her name right. I've been careful this episode. Senna was waiting for us. She has twigged to what is happening. She was glaring at us with a harsh scowl on her face. Her D-sword was out, real booted, and emitting a red beam of light. Does this mean you're not Kozupi's friend anymore? Give me back my clickety-clacks. You two are fools. Yeah, well, I mean, look, you haven't been in our shoes for the past hour, okay? Things have been happening. You've been caught in a trap. It's an all-out assault on your minds, the effects of which are causing everyone to act unstable. This is the work of true evil. To escape this nightmare, we have to strike down the source. I mean, blame Suwa, it's his rucksacks. The source is a porter. Okay, so Senna does know. They're here somewhere, carrying a rucksack. They've been attacking you with delusions. Okay, so join our party? Join our party? Senna-san, are you Kozupi's friend? You're her friend, right? Again, say yes. Come on, come on. Kozupi's had a day, okay? Cut her some slack. Kozue. What do you mean, true evil? What about the effect thingies? The cockroaches that attacked Kozupii and Takumi-san were automatically our enemies. That's why we killed them. You read, you dead. Kozupii didn't want to kill anybody. I don't know. Kozupi's been saying she wants to kill quite a few people. The voice in Kozupi's head wasn't making any sense. Her mind was a chaotic mess. You've given our enemies exactly what they wanted. But we're all being stalkered now. Kozupi's just so scared. Kozupii isn't going to be Kozupii any longer. Why isn't Kozupii going to be Kozupii any longer? I felt the same. The click of the camera shutters, the creaking of the wheelchair, just hearing those things made me feel like my mind itself was disintegrating. I just wanted to let myself go, surrender to that oh-so-enticing bloodlust. Or maybe I already had. Do you not remember stabbing that dude in the stairwell? Do you two have any idea what it is you're fighting? I'm looking forward to Senna's path next, because we're going to be jumping right into her stuff right after this. I didn't know who the enemy was. I didn't know anything at all, really. Was my enemy Shogun, or was it someone else? I didn't even know who was attacking who anymore. What I could say for sure, though, was that everyone and everything in this world was against me. Don't let delusions deceive you, says the girl who cut her own father's head off in another route. You have to stop, or else your own delusions will be your downfall. Kozue, you can't use your D-sword any more than you already have. Yeah, it might be wise to just put that thing away and leave it away for a bit. Negative matter is eroding your mind and body. Yeah, Senna has warned us about this many times. You're not even able to walk properly, are you? If you keep this up, your very existence itself will collapse. Maybe that's what the end goal is. Maybe the reason they're tormenting Kozupii is to get her to, well, cease to exist. Senna-san, are you and Kozupii and Takumi-san's friend? That's all Kozupii cares about. Are you good or bad? Do I hug you or do I stab you? I need to make this simple for me. With a voice sounding like it was begging for salvation, Kozupii pleaded for an answer once more. I too waited with bated breath to see what Senna might say. I wasn't expecting anything, I really wasn't, but I am a friend to you both. That is the correct answer. Senna answered decisively. I'll face the enemies that are attacking you. So she has joined our party. Excellent. We have some porters to slice up. So, you have to stop these delusions. Let Senna take care of the... Well, I was going to say let Senna take care of the porters, but Suwa kind of wrecks Senna's shit pretty much every time they've met, which, granted, has been twice, but still. I was saved. I had someone on my side besides Kozupii, another friend. Kozupii slowly lowered her sword, keeping in mind that his friends before were Mizumi and Rimi, both of which are currently indisposed. Permanently. Kozupii's so happy! Senna-san, I love you so much! Oh, is that the romance angle? Takumi isn't even getting any action this round. This is just going to be the Kozupii-Senna route. Tears began to form in the corners of her eyes. Kozupii's gaze clung to Senna like a lost puppy. Without warning, Kozupii swung her D-sword. That is not how you put that away. Why did you do that? Who did you do that to? Senna instinctively deflected the blow with her own. However, the shock of the attack was enough to blow her backward, and she fell to the ground. Kozupii, why was that necessary? Yeah, Kozue, what are you doing?
Kozupii?
Kozupii? Is the psycho look on her face back? Senna made it clear she was on our side. Why are you trying to kill her? Is this again the sword having a mind of its own? No! I'm not Kozupii! Uh-oh, was this what she was talking about? Crying out in her inner voice, she swung the sword up past her head and held it above Senna. I'm not Kozupii! And, who are you exactly? She swung down with the intent to kill. With only a nanosecond to spare, Senna rolled across the ground, just barely avoiding being cleaved in two. Quickly getting back to her feet, she brandished her D-sword once again. Are you trying to kill me, Kozue? Crying profusely, Kozupii shook her head and back and forth wildly in fierce denial. No! Kozupi's hands moved on their own! Help! Senna-shan! Takemi-shan! Well, this is a problem. I'm not going to do jack. I have nothing. What the hell was happening to her? Seriously, what the fuck was going on? You've been possessed by the negative delusions. Oh, is this what happens when too many negative delusions build up? And I believe Senna literally said that the negative energy builds up in the sword. And I guess now because Kozupii has been sort of cutting loose, really more than any other character has, it's starting to, like she said, possess her, dominate her, take control, whatever. You've lost control of your D-sword. Really, you should put that away. Any time would be great. So against Kozupi's own will, she was now an indiscriminate killing machine. To be fair, back when she was in control, she was a pretty indiscriminate killing machine as well. Kozue, erase your D-sword. Yeah, like Psy'Min Sezz. Kozupii can't! Kozupii can't do it! Well, we're starting to see the consequences of not listening to Senna. Damn it, Senna, you're in a tight spot. Again, I can offer no assistance. I may want to run. Oh, there it is! There's the psycho face. Kill, 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 kill. Okay, so, note to self. Don't overuse D-sword. Don't let negative energy build up, or else, bad things happen. A voice spoke. Yeah, a voice. Oh, yeah, Kozue is actually speaking. That's not Kozupii anymore. Yeah, it wasn't her inner voice, it was her actual voice, and I'm pretty sure it was the sword talking. It was Kozupi's actual voice, yeah. Chanting kill to no end. The exact opposite of what her inner voice wanted. Help! Kozupii doesn't want this!
Senna,
help her! I'm not sure what Senna can do, really, besides take her down. All I could do is beg from the sidelines, or maybe knock the sword away somehow. I mean, you have to go on the offensive in some way here. There was no way I could have walked into the middle of that fray. Yeah, that would be unwise. Psy'Min advises against it. Reveal your delusions and neutralize the... Ah! Senna's just blocking, I guess. Kozupii launched an unrelenting attack. But all she was doing was barreling around with her D-sword. It was a purely brutish attack with no aim. Only one a total idiot would use. Kozupii doesn't want to kill you! Senna-shan! Kozupii doesn't want to kill you! I mean, what are the options here? Either kill her so she can't kill us because she has no self-control, knock the sword out of her hands and incapacitate her, just run? I'm not sure knocking the sword out of her hands is going to be that easy. She's pretty strong and, yeah. Despite her body staggering around, despite her feet drunkenly stumbling, Despite her gaze not even facing Senna, Kozupi's sword headed straight towards Senna without fail, doing everything in its power to rip her in two. Got a drunken master. I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll fucking kill you, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Senna's outer voice is just chanting murder, while Kozupi's inner voice is just like, I don't want to do this. Lashing out at her with nothing but nonsensical attacks, her assault continued. Each and every swing was extremely heavy, yet sharp as could be. Senna was pressed for time. Her expression grew restless. We could just wear her down. She's going to tire out eventually. Listen, I don't think listening is going to help. The swords mutually clashed with one another. Senna repelled her blow, breaking Kozupi's guard. Okay, we're making progress. But in Kozupi's counterattack, her D-sword seemed to disregard the very laws of physics themselves. Well, this is unfortunate. That is a lot of blood. Probably Senna's. Thick blood sprayed from her slender body. Welp. Oh. Oh! That was all a delusion! Surprise, sucker! Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, what is happening here? Senna cut around and made her way to Kozupi's back. The once bloodied corpse of Senna vanished, so Senna made a delusionary decoy to make Kozupi think she had been cut. But now it looks like she's getting her in a full Nelson, so yeah, we are going to try to incapacitate her. Taking advantage of Kozupi's shock, Senna managed to pin her arms behind her back. Watch out for that sword, it's very, very bladey. Toss aside your D-sword, Kozue! Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Kill Kozupii! Senna-san, kill Kozupii! It's the only way to stop her. Kozupii isn't bad. Kozupii isn't bad. It's everyone else that's bad. Kozupii doesn't want to see this me. Kozupii doesn't want to kill Senna-san either. So, Kozupi's mind and body were at odds with one another. They had split completely in two. Her small body thrashed around violently in an attempt to break free, but in her mind, she could only weep. I'm begging you, throw down your sword, Kozue. Please, return to how things were. I will never abandon you. Senna's trying to be a friend, but I don't think Kozue has a choice here. She's a little too far gone. You are the only friend I have. Oh, Senna. Senna tried to save the only friend. Look, I'll tell you what. If you have to murder Kozue, we'll be your replacement friend, okay? Tears formed in Senna's eyes. She was crying. No! And of course, this is one of only two of Kozue's friends. This is not going to end well. Right then, Kozupi's arm made the strangest of movements. This will not end well. Bending in a direction that shouldn't have been possible. Literally broke her own arm to get a swinging in at Senna. A dull crack could be heard as her joint dislocated. Or did Senna do that to you to disable your arm? A muted scream came from her. I think that might not have been a delusion that time. Before I even knew what had happened, Senna, who had been keeping Kozupii pinned, had been impaled from behind by Kozupi's boorish D-sword. Welp! The edge gnawed through her, grinding into her flesh like a saw. I had a feeling that was how this was going to turn out, but only because this is the Kozupii route. This is kind of her show. She's got the plot armor at the moment. You can have it next time round. In the blink of an eye, Senna's clothes were turning a deep crimson. Gritting her teeth in pure anguish, she tried to toss Kozupii aside, to put space between them. But she was too late. Kozupii whipped around, then slashed her sword in a straight horizontal line. Kozupii cast immediate bisection. It was super effective, and the side of Senna's body was torn to pieces. Yeah, sorry about that. Kozupii turned to Senna, who was writhing in intense agony, and then she thrust her D-sword directly into her. Senna-san! Run! It's a little late to run. Die, 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 die. Kozue, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Die, 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 die. I couldn't save you. You looked up to me so much, but I couldn't help you. Die, 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 die. Your cry for help. If only I'd noticed it sooner. Which of these is going to be your last words? You've been hit 3 times. Talking with you, Kozue, was the only time I ever felt at ease. Die, 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 die! For looking up to me, for what we had. Thank you. Die! Well, I couldn't look straight at it. Man, that is, Is Senna-san dead? Very. Extremely. The kill streak continues. She was dead. Senna was dead. Just like everybody else. Even though she'd been our friend, even though she could have saved me and Kozupii. Kozupii had killed her. The sword remained pierced in our friend's corpse. Kozupii's disjointed arm hung down lifelessly. And on her face was a smile, accompanied by a waterfall of tears. Senna-san! Senna-san! Say something! Let's all go eat crunchy-coons together! Takumi-san can come too! So the 3 of us can take a picture again! Her heart was crying out in despair. Hey! Takumi-san! Takumi-san should be running. Why isn't Senna-san saying anything? Why? Senna is dead. Kozupii killed her. Kozupii really killed her. Kozupii fell to her knees. With one hand, Kozupii softly picked up what was left of Senna's lifeless corpse. What had once been a girl of intense beauty was now smeared from head to toe in blood, with her long black hair covering her face. Why did this... Kozupii didn't mean for... This isn't what Kozupii wished for. Kozupii didn't wish for this. Senna-san, Kozupii loved you. Kozupii really, really loved you. You were like a big sister to Kozupii. Why? Why did Kozupii kill Senna-san? Why? I was about to say. Sue is probably about to show up. Well, may the divine light save you. Oh, I hope you're quick with that rucksack, buddy, because the bloodlust, I imagine, has not yet been sated. Especially since you're partly to blame for this. Oh, hi, Darth Spider. Before I knew it, a man in a Darth Spider helmet had appeared near us, holding a small handgun pointed directly at us. You? Darth Spider. I remember what that DQN had told me before I'd killed him in a fit of rage. That's true. We haven't really had a whole lot of experience personally with Darth Spider as Takumi, but that DQN who did terrible things to Nanami did clue us in. He'd said that Darth Spider had offered Nanami to him.
お前か。
It's you? It's your fault?
さあ、
You're the enemy?
何のことっすか？
Did you say something? Oh? Did someone just get shot? He shot me! He did shoot me. My leg exploded with pain. The bullet had struck me right in the knee. Yeah, Kozupii, this guy you're okay with killing, right? But you need to move quick. Kozupi's D-sword began to hum. And Darth Spider's helmet was shredded like it was made of paper. Wait a minute. Please tell me you actually just hit him in, like... That was a kill shot, right? That was a headshot. Darth Spider's helmet was shredded like it was paper. It wasn't Shogun's face beneath the mask. Instead, it was the face of a young man. You have a face left? What happened to your helmet? Yeah. Oh, you got shot too? The man retaliated, turning Kozupii into a mess of gushing blood and broken bones. And then Kozupi's legs gave out from beneath her. That sounds like a rucksack attack. I mean, that is the noise of a rucksack. Oopsie! Shouldn't be killing you quite yet. I still gotta nab your code samples. Who was this guy? Who the hell was this bastard? You remember Suwa? We've met this guy. I couldn't stop thinking that I met him somehow before. Yeah, exactly, like Psy'Min Sezz. But I couldn't remember where. How had he even gotten his hands on a gun to begin with? Oh, right, he's a cop. But I did know that this must have been him, the so-called source Senna had mentioned. Was he Shogun's underling? Or was he some other enemy? I didn't know the answers to any of these things, and I didn't need to, because at the very least, I knew he was the source behind everything. He kinda is. I wanted to kill this bastard so badly. Kozupii, lend me your sword. But my aching leg was suffering from an incredibly unusual sensation, and before long I couldn't even stay standing anymore. Kozupii, just toss it at him. Use your longsword foreskill. The next bullet landed in my shoulder. The impact of the shot set me sprawling on the ground. The bullets dug into my flesh, and the sheer pain and heat made me scream. Next, my arm. I dropped the knife I had been clenching tightly in my fist. Oh yeah, we had that. We could have thrown that. My entire body was emitting distress signals. I couldn't even tell where I was being shot anymore. I was dying. This pain was too much for me to take. The man approached me. He peered at my face, then removed something odd from the rucksack he was carrying. It was some sort of headgear with more cables than I could count. Oh, is this how they get the code samples? That's why they had Ayase's, because she had worn this thing before. Had Senna worn? I don't think Senna's worn this before. Her mom wore something like it. Oh! Yeah. No, you put a few too many bullets in me. I hope you got some left for your sake. Kill! God, Kozupii is a terror.
Nani?
Yeah, Nani? Nani the fuck? I'm gonna kill you! Rising up from the ground, Kozupii swayed heavily. She was dragging her leg. Almost having to force herself, she raised her blade. What the? Is she a fucking monster? Yes! At least in this route. Die! Okay, well... Are you gonna actually take him down? I heard the sound of the sword cutting through air. It interlaced perfectly with the sound of gunfire. Oh. Please tell me you at least killed each other. The D-sword utterly crushed the man's body. Tell me also that this isn't a delusion. His final breath soon dissipated, and the man's all too familiar way of speaking would never be heard again. Thank goodness. I would actually love to see a CG of Suwa just getting messed up. He's earned it. But Kozupii, where'd that bullet land? Moaning, Kozupii coughed up a spatter of blood. Her chest was dyed a rich vermilion from the bullets of the dead man. Well, I think we're all just gonna pass away here. This is the final scene. We're good. We're done. And then, as if her strength had been sapped entirely, she collapsed, face up, onto the flower bed, resting directly behind her. A myriad of black particles began to envelop her D-sword, a hulking mass of sheer mayhem, inspiring awe to all those who beheld it. The truly beautiful yet fearful blade gradually began to waver. Takumi-san, Kozupii can't go on any longer. Bearing the excruciating pain shooting through me, I crawled as best I could toward where Kozupii lay. Only a few moments ago, my entire body had been blazing with heat, but now I felt so terribly cold. It was like I had plunged straight into a lake on a cold winter's day. My whole being was shivering with a force I couldn't stop. I couldn't feel my fingers anymore. My vision had gone blurry too. But even so, willing forth all the strength I could muster, I stretched my hand toward the girl lying in a radiant array of brightly colored flowers. My cold fingertips met Kozupi's warm, tender fingers, desperately seeking something to cling to. Wishing with all my heart to find it, I draped my fingertips on top of hers and closed them. I found myself lying in the flower bed, just like Kozupii. The stench of blood was masked perfectly by the rich scent of the flowers. I felt frigid, but found warmth through the soil on my back, as well as Kozupi's fingers. The sky was so very high above us, stretching as far as the eye could see. And for some reason, Hey, the sky is really, really pretty. It's like a whole bunch of clickety-clackities are decorating it. She was right. The sky we saw shifted hues endlessly, and just like she'd said, it was like there was an array of colorful beads overtaking the sky. From my pocket, I retrieved the cell phone strap that Kozupii had given me some time ago. I had only just remembered that I'd even had it. I took the cell phone strap in my palm, then clasped her hand once more, embracing the strap in the middle. I wasn't strong enough to maintain a solid grip anymore, but it didn't matter. If only Kozupii could float up high in the sky, too. Kozupii wishes she could be a clickety-clackety. You can. Throw away your piece of shit body. Throw away this piece of shit world. You can be a star if you truly wish to be. If you do that, then you'll never have to worry about pain or sorrow ever again. If you do that, then you'll live in peace and tranquility forever. Well, that's a scene. Takumi-san, won't you come with Kozupii? Is Senna invited too? She's here as well. Of course I will. I'll always be with you. You were the only person who didn't betray me. You were the only person trying as hard as you could for my sake. Even until the very end. So I'll never betray you. I'll stay with you. Even until the very end. Thank you. Is it okay if Kozupii falls in love with Takumi-san? Sure, you've got like 15 seconds. I don't mind. My consciousness was fading, but I answered all the same. I realized that the hand I had been clasping was slowly beginning to lose its warmth. I realized that the strength was slowly fading from the fingers clasping my hand. But I didn't care. I wasn't going to let go of her hand until the very end. I tried my damnedest to hold back the tears I knew would come. The sky I saw turned a pure white. All the clickety-clackities were disappearing. I figured something had happened, but I didn't really care anymore. Just the third melt. Relief washed over me. Relief that Kozupii wouldn't have to see the clickety-clackities die out. I gently closed my eyes. In that very moment, time came to a stop. The entire world came to a stop. And so, within that sky with colors as rich as those beads, Kozupii and I shone as stars, floating in perpetuity. And we just left Senna behind. Poor Senna. Oh, it's the clickety-clackities. Well, that was a trip. Huh. The guy who voices Mizumi Dasuke also has the last name Dasuke. That's awesome. I just noticed that now. Well then. These endings are getting more entertaining as time goes on. Nanami was like, okay, what I expected. Yua's was predictable, but, you know, how we got there was kind of cool. Ayase's was interesting. This, wow. That was, I did not call where this was going at all. So next we're going to be having Senna. And that has promise as well, because Senna, like I said before, Senna is all sorts of potential. She knows so much about what's going on. She is on a mission. She's also got her own issues happening. There's lots of material there, so my expectations are high. And then, of course, we've got Ribby, which promises to be plot-heavy, I'm sure, because she is kind of our heroine. And then we'll have our true ending. So we are going places. But that was definitely the best ending so far. Good times. And this should be ending any second. Oh, there's Kozupii during happier times. Let's remember her as she was, not covered in blood. To put the mage's logo in her hand. Cute, very cute. Achievement. A disease that leads to slaughter. Reached the sickness unto slaughter ending. That was definitely the slaughter ending. You'll get no argument from me. But yeah, next time will be Senna. And that was fun. That was definitely enjoyable. So I will see you guys next time. That was probably the longest ending too. Even with some of the material that I did over with Ayase. This was probably an even longer ending than hers. So I will see you guys for the Senna route. Take care. Have a great week. I know you will. Come by on Twitch sometime. Or follow me on Twitter. Let me know you're watching the series and what you're thinking of it. I appreciate every view, every comment, every like. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.